What's up, everyone? I'm Hezekiah Goodwin with the men's track and field and cross country team. I'm a fifth year, plus year senior this year, fortunate enough to come back to be a Lute one more time. I'm originally from California. I moved here when I was 7 years old, and so I've been calling Kent my home, so shout out Kent if you're from Kent. A little bit about me, I am a student leader on campus. I've had a student leadership position ever since I was a freshman, starting from RHC and then transitioning into an RA, and now I'm currently the RHA president for the campus. And just a little bit about that with my role in transitioning to becoming a leader on campus. It has been difficult in a sense, but also kind of natural in the sense where when you interact with diverse populations and people, you get to hear people's stories, you get to culminate, some new ideas and thoughts, and that just helped me become more of a advocate and leader in that sense where I am able to empathize with a group of people and understand their stories, and I can kind of navigate because everyone's not gonna have the same way that they need support or they need help in that sense. And so just being able to communicate and understand people around me is definitely how I've become a stronger leader here on campus. So recently PLU has created diversity forums, which is inclusive for student athletes to come and share their voice and just learn different perspectives. And so this has been an amazing opportunity for myself, being one of the predominantly Black male athletes on the cross-country team and track and field team. It just has a space for me where I could be open and provide conversations, and I can bring that conversation to my team, which is a huge aspect and huge part of my growth and development, in the sense where, hey, like, people want to understand my experiences and where I'm coming from, and they can also come to a shared space where they can be involved in the conversation, because oftentimes when you talk about diversity, equity, or inclusion, or anything along the like, people might feel uncomfortable. And so just coming in that space, you know that you can feel included and just ask questions and feel as free as possible. And so that's why it's so important to me. So recently, last year, I was fortunately a part of the NCAA Student Activism Convention, and so it brought in diverse student perspectives and student voice. And so this is so important for administration, for an institution, because we need to hear the voices and the stories and the perspectives from multiple students to have that diverse understanding and that empathy building. And so with, I guess, myself personally, I want to share my voice and my experiences because I'm thinking, or I'm hoping, that it inspires someone else to speak up, ignite some fire where they feel comfortable or where they feel confident enough to share their experiences. Because at the end of the day, it could seem like someone's only going through a situation by themselves, or there's no one who understands them, but oftentimes there's someone around you who may be going through the same thing. And so if you're able to share your voice, if you're able to speak up in situations, you never know who that could impact. And so moving forward, going into a professional career, or looking past PLU, I want to continue inspiring people to share their voice and perspectives, because overall it will help them in the long run, it will help people around them, and it will build a more understanding and complete environment in that sense. Within the last couple of years, PLU has definitely seen a trend towards being more inclusive and having diverse conversations, as I mentioned with the diversity forums. Something I would like to see in the future, especially with student athletes in the BIPOC community. I think there's a gravitation towards athletes being only focused on sport itself. And so I would like to see, first, greater representation as a whole within the athletic administration. But along with that, I guess a push towards Black athletes, or just people of color, towards those positions of coaches and administrators, in the sense what they're a part of sport, what they're so passionate about, but also they're involved and they're not solely focused on being an athlete. And so just if we can see that transition and that representation throughout the administration, that would be perfect.